Hi friends, welcome to Aisha's DIY. In this video, we will learn how to make this beautiful bracelet. I really like this bracelet. I don't know, for some reason it's very simple, at the same time it's very elegant. So I used a small button right here for this bracelet, and this one came short. It's not 7.5 inch wrist size, but I was planning to try this out. Okay, I tried this out, and then it came short, so I have revised my my measurement. See, this is only 6.5 inch, so it's not a regular size, but I have revised the measurement of the cord that we have to use. And also, I didn't like about this is this one right here. Can you see that it is frayed a little bit? I am a little bit worried about this closure, so I will just modify it a little bit so that we are okay. Means I'm convinced of the durability of the bracelet. So I have used two colors, as you guys can see here. That's not intentional. It was it was not intentional. So I would rather use one single color. And these beads were from Bargain Bead Box. I think a couple of months before, 2 months before, in the box there was these beads. I used those beads, and there was only this much, I believe. So that worked well for the smaller bracelet, but I did a lot of mistake in that, and I learned a lot. So whenever you make mistakes, you learn a lot. So now I wanted to do the same bracelet. This one has roundel and a little bit of faceted effect over here. I'm using here this rose quartz beads that we got from the Bargain Bead Box subscription for this month, and I'm going to do the same bracelet with these beads. It even though it's a matte color, it has a little bit of a sparkle because of the facetedness of this roundel, which this doesn't have. So I want a pop of color. So I picked up this button, which is slightly a bigger button than that. You can also a wide button and use a bead as a closure here as well. That's totally up to you. For me, I thought I would use a button, but that might change in the course of the time. But this is, I'm bringing in color or brightness with the cord. So in every element that we design in a different way, right? So I want to bring this color. For example, whenever we remove this beads from the strand, the color of the cord was this one right here. So I wanted to use this one. This is a Chinese knotting cord, 0.8 millimeter thickness. And for the dangles, we can use any bead we want, the same beads or the roundels or so that we received from this box. We can use those, or these beads, we can use these beads as well. So any beads we want, we can use those for the dangles. So for this bracelet, you need a scissors and obviously a lighter. And then what I want to do here is, let me just grab my scissors, and then a macrame board or anything that you can use for macrame. So here I'm going to cut myself about, say, that is 12. Okay, say 18 inches. Okay, let me see. Or 46 centimeters of cord, one length. Okay, oops, I just opened this roundel, but I thought it's closed, but it's not. We shall have that for the next project. And with these cord, there is one long cord that we need to cut, So that will be say 3 feet. 120 centimeter, 150 centimeter, 180 centimeter, 210, and then 240. So 240 centimeter is what I cut it for the longer piece. I know it's a little bit long, but I really want that much long. Let me be clear one more time. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So totally 7 feet of cord. You can also do 6 feet, but I'm doing 7 feet just in case, because I ran short here pretty badly, and I switched it off the color, but you can do it that way also. But this one I'm gonna do it with single cord. If you guys are interested in learning how to make 2 color cords, let me know in the comments below. I'll make a new video. I'm going to call this video Tweaky Tuesday. Okay, Tweaky Tricks Tuesday. So I will take a project that I already made, and a little bit changes in that project will yield a little bit different product altogether. So those will be on the Tweaky Tuesday. So I'll make some like that. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments below. So now what we are going to do is we are going to fold this cord into half, the long cord. Okay, bring the center. Now we shall switch our, you don't need the roller anymore. We need the 40 centimeter, 60 centimeter one. So I will switch to macrame board. I'm gonna have here a macrame board, but this macrame board is going to be in the back because it's easier for you guys to see rather if it is in the front. So I'm just going to mark the center right here by pinning it. Okay, and take one side and leave it above like that. Take this 40 centimeter, okay, in about say 10 centimeter or so is the distance that I want to keep here. So take this one and start here. Okay, and take this cord and I'm going to insert it into the groove and take this, then the pin off. See, this is what I have here. So basically this is 10 centimeter in the middle of the cord, the bigger cord. So this is the 10 centimeter part which is middle, that we are going to create the loop, this loop. Okay, so I am just going to take this longer cord. This is a shorter cord. Okay, this is a long cord. Take the long cord and then keep it on top of this, and then go over, under, and pull through. That's like a figure 6, as you can see here. that we have here, and then just, I know it's a little bit wobbly and stuff like that, but don't worry, we will fix that. And then now I'm going under this cord and over and through the loop that I created. Okay, it's a little bit long right now, but once you start working it will get smaller. And then pull through. This is a Larks knot, which you guys already know, but if you are not aware of the Larks knot, go ahead, and I have the video in the description box below. Go ahead and watch the basic macrame knots video on my channel, then you'll get to know the Larks knot. So it's simple: over, under, and through the loop. Okay, pull through. Now when you're tightening this, just be careful. We just have a pin right there, it might come right off. And now under, okay, under, over, and through the loop, just like that. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. It's a long cord, so that's the reason. And then pull through. So that's the Larks knot. I'll just zoom in a little bit more for you guys to see. I'll do one more time, and we are going to do about, say, 12 Larks knot. Over, under, and pull through. Okay, and then under, over, and through. Okay, you will know for sure you have made a mistake or not, because you'll see a bump on the side and 2 cords in through that loop, kind of a thing. So I'm going to make 12 of these Larks knot and come back. So I ended up doing 15. The number of Larks knots that you would do here depends on the size of your button, or if you're using the bead or something like that for closure, that depends upon that. Okay, so I ended up doing 15, and I'm just going to bring these two together just like that and check on with my button. My button goes through just a little bit tight, maybe just one more knot would be good. So I'm just doing it in my hands, but you can pin it back and do it. So now this is what it is, right? The cord that we did, and this is the center cord. So I just bring everything back like that. Okay, these two are the long cords. Okay, these are the short ones, the short one, and then bring it all together just like that, and about, say, here, pin it. Okay, now we have these 2 cords. So what I'm going to do here is bring these wider cord over here. I hope I am in the, okay, I'll zoom out a little bit. Okay, so bring these 2 cords here, and I'm going to do 2 square knots. Okay, 2 macrame square knots. considering these two cords, the short one and the long one, as the center one. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now tighten that knot. Make sure these two cords are straight. There we go. And then pull that thing tight. Just like that. And then that's a Q. And I'm going to do a P. You guys know the P's and Q's of square knots. Macrame square knots. Please go ahead and watch my basic macrame knots video before you do this project. There we go. That's one. And we'll make one more. See how this tends to actually crisscross applesauce, which we don't want to. Straighten those out. One more. Now that that's done, you can actually cut these cord and then melt it at this point of time, which I don't want to do, which I did. Excuse me, which I did in my sample, because I'm not so sure. I can feel this to be a little bit wobbly, as you guys can see, which I don't like it. I have made more knots and thicker ones, and also I wanted to keep this cord for a little bit and then do the melting later. So here is what we are going to do. This is what is the sample, as you guys can see here. So what I'm going to do is take one cord, doesn't matter which cord you start with, take one cord and the right and the left, any one, melt the ends so that your bead goes through, and add your bead. This can be a roundel, around, anything you want, over towards my right. Take my left cord, okay, leave this for a bit now on the side. Take my left cord and start the Larks knot again, okay, over, under, and pull through. In this case, I'm considering the short thread as well with the long ones, and then I'm going over both. You don't have to do it when you cut this over here. You will not have to do that, but I am doing it just for security purposes. I feel much more safer if I do that, so that's why I'm doing that. Just like that. That's one Larks knot, right? And then I'm going to do 4 Larks knot. That the number of Larks knot that you do right now also depends on the size of your bead. Over here, I think this is 6 by 8, or I'm not so sure what size this is, because it's like a little bit fat over on the side and stuff like that. So I did 4 knots per bead in this sample. I'm going to try the same here, and if it is more, then I can always remove it. That's 2. That's 3. Make sure it's tight, okay? And 4. So now bring this bead here, and I'm going to join everything. So now I'm ready to actually cut this off. So I'm just going to snip this off right here. take it in my hand because I don't want any mistake here. So melt this. Just like so. Now that that's taken care of, okay, take all of these cords, see this one is melted but not joined anywhere, so I just want to be careful. There we go. Now it's secure. Now push the bead up on top and then take these two cords together. Do the Larks head knot on top of these two cords as if they are one. Okay, just like so. See how it curves? That's what we want. Okay, I'm thinking whether to add something to this or not. Just the bead. Let me check. This cord can accommodate this bead. No. Okay. Now this is done. So I added bead on the right side. Now on the left side, left cord, I will melt the end, make it into a needle kind of, so it's easy for me to thread in my beads, right? Add the bead to the left side and leave the cord up on top. Take the right cord and then go ahead and do the Larks head knot with the center cord. One, over, under, and pull through. That's one Larks head knot. This is the 2. Three, the 4, and then bring the bead here just like that, and then take these two cords, consider it to be one, and then do the Larks head knot on top of these two cords. See how nicely it comes, and it's also very pretty. And here it's thinner, it's fatter here because we had this short cord underneath. That's the reason. So that's why in the original sample we will cut that off right there and melt it, but I really find this to be safer. I'm okay with this being like this. So now I have added bead in the last unit on to the left. Now I will add a bead to the right. Continue doing the same thing. Drop it down. Leave it on to the side and take this cord and do my Larks head knot. Over, under, and pull through. Over, under, over, and pull through. You will definitely know for sure if you did a mistake because the knots will not be proper. As you can see, we'll zoom in a little bit more. See how there is a bump and there is 2 cords coming through. So if you are making a mistake, then you will immediately know. That is 2. Three. And going to be 4. Now take the bead down. Consider these 2 cords to be the same. Then 2 lockside knot over these 2 cords. There we go. Can you see how pretty that is? I really like the way this is turning out to be. I'll continue doing this until the length I want for my bracelet. Usually this is about say 7.5 inch, 7 inch, and then half an inch we will add the button. So I will do some more and come back. Welcome back. I finished it. It's about say little shy than 7 inch, but when I tried it around my wrist, as you guys can see, if I add one more it will become a little bit bigger. So I just, or I can add one more, yeah, maybe. So one more, we'll just poke it right here. One side my cord is shorter, the other side is longer. That's because remember the 10 inch, the 10 centimeter that I told, you would rather take the middle part of the long cord, 10 centimeters, and then 10 centimeters, and then do the lock side knot for the loop. I still need this cord a little bit at least. So now push the bead up and do one more knot. There we go. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'll check one more time, keeping it around my wrist just like so. Excuse me. So that's about say right. You see, it's a little bit big. I think I should have stopped there. I will just remove this section and come. So I removed it. Now what I do is just like that. Okay, I'm going to take my cord and do a square knot with the center cord as a center cord and the side cords as a knotting cord. So here we go. 1, There is a reason why I started the P. If we do Q, the bump will come this side. Already there is a bump here, so just to balance it out, I did it that way. That is one. That is two. That is three. And now I would take my button and I'm going to pop the button in the center chord, just like that. So just leave it down there, and then I'm gonna do a square knot on top of it. Actually, what I will do is I will put all the chords inside through the button, because this button has a big enough hole that will fit all three chords. Okay, move everything down there, and now let's just separate these chords. Okay, and then start doing our knots. Okay, there we go. In the other sample bracelet, the shank in the button was small, so I didn't put all the chords through. I did it around, just put only the middle chord through, then I did it. And then, as you can see in the sample, see that I did a couple of knots, like 3 knots, and then I put an overhand knot. So let me see. Yes, that's 1, 2, that is 3. It is just my preference. And take this, take all 3 chords and tie an overhand knot with all 3 of them, just like so, and bring the knot as close to the other knots as possible. If it's not close, just adjust it and make it really close. There we go. And then tighten it by individually pulling each cord. And here we have our bracelet. Let's try. Before doing anything, let's try it on. There we go. It fits and looks pretty as well. So now what we do is, so you can add beads to these chords and then decorate it like how I decorated here. I did knots before and after. This has bigger hole, these square beads, that's why I did it. If you are doing the rose quartz, then I would suggest only one rose quartz, because and then one knot. This one is short, so it's difficult for me to do 2 knots. So I'm just going to do 1 knot. That should be good enough. And let me grab my beads. Oopsie daisy. Melt this end. Put a knot after that. So 220 centimeter is enough for the bigger cord. I did take a little bit more just to be on the safer side, but doesn't have to be the exact size, but more or less the same. Add the last one as well. Tie a knot. And make sure the knot comes in the position that you want. Okay. There we go. Now all you need to do is tighten up the knot, snip it off, this much is only left, so you can take 220 centimeter if you want to. I like to have a little bit of wiggle room in mind, so I took a little bit more. There we go. Our pretty bracelet is done. I hope you guys liked this tutorial. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos couple of times a week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.